Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Food Farms and Chefs. I am very excited because I am introducing you to the Director of Operations for Daddy-O's in LBI, along Daddy-O's hotel, and it's a restaurant, and also Tucker's Tavern, which is in LBI. Pete Palladino. Pete, thank you for joining us on Food Farms and Chefs.
Thanks so much for having us.
No problem.
I mean, myself and my dog here. There's
Of course. I mean, we love animals too. So, um, they're as pets, not just eat. Um, one of those awkward statements that I'm gonna make. So I had the luxury of being introduced to Daddy-O's in LBI, both the hotel and the restaurant as a staycation. And I want to say for our listeners out there, it's ridiculously comfortable, the beds, and it's cute, like big huge bathrooms that have high-end amenities, along with the fact that you walk in and on the wall is like a bottle of wine. Like, you don't have to order it, it's right there in case if you want to open up a bottle of wine, celebrate your vacation.
in case of emergency, break glass. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly. But if you're not in that emergent situation, you do also have the restaurant, which is downstairs. And um to say that the food was amazing is an understatement.
Awesome. Thank you.
But enough about me talking about Daddy-O's. Why don't you let our listeners know some more insight about Daddy-O's, and how it came to be.
Sure. So the site where Daddy is now it's been a restaurant. It was a restaurant before we had it for I gotta say 30 years before that. It used to be a place called Wheatas. We bought it and renovated the entire thing, took it down to its studs in 2006. Um, and it was fun. I think when we opened in 2006, it was not quite the dining scene that we see today on LBI. So I think Daddio was a little um, I think the locals didn't know what to make of us. I think when we first opened, our philosophy has always been it doesn't just have to be a good restaurant for the beach. It's got to be a great restaurant. To stand alone against any others because our competition it's everywhere now. So we tried to do something at Daddio. We always try to do a fresh take on old classics. Daddio's got to be hip, cool, fun. It's like it's beach culture. So it's just like, it doesn't have to be tricky. It's just got to be great, And so we have a 22-room boutique hotel there as well, which is super fun. I mean, we'll get people that come down and spend the week with us and don't, they park their car and they don't drive again until they're leaving us because there's so many great experiences that you could have there, whether it be on our rooftop deck at the rooftop bar up there or sitting out in our rum garden or inside, like there's all different experiences. And the beach is only 5 houses away. So it's pretty awesome.
Yes, and you have the bay and the beach, the actual ocean. Like, you're kind of in between the two, which is dealer's choice basically, because I do like the calmness of the bay, but the beach, of course, is just wonderful to sit, watch the waves, go play in the sand in the sun, and of course the ocean. But after a day under the sun, you want to pack it in, like come back to your room, relax a little bit, and you have that rooftop bar space, and you have that outdoor area where your rum bar, which is wonderful as well. We were able to taste some cocktails that were made with of all things, Hampton Water, which is John Bon Jovi and Jesse Bon Jovi. And I forget who their third partner is off the top of my head, but they have a rosé that is fantastic. But you guys made margaritas utilizing that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think, this is the first year that we partnered with these guys. Uh, you know, Everybody loves rosé, especially when you're sitting outside. So it seemed like a logical choice. They're making some great cocktails with it as well. So kind of a different approach to the way that you're consuming rosé as opposed to just drinking it straight.
Yes.
And it's look, I love the rum bar. Our rum bar is when I'll go to Daddio, that's well said. And is you just feel like you're transported to a different place.
Yes. And then I want to also mention the fact that like you take your cocktail inside to Daddio's, the restaurant portion of it, and enjoy something absolutely delicious too from your chef.
Yes. We've got our culinary director, Jeff Alberti, is my partner in crime down here. He is just um, his food's wonderful. He's very thoughtful. Um, we always believe that if you're gonna, food's got to make a statement, and so that if it's going to have, Chipotle in it, it's like let's go there. You know what I mean? Like let's go all the way. And so I think our Caesar salad is the best Caesar salad dressing that I've ever had. I think our scallops are excellent. It's like so we're very lucky that we get to draw on all this local economy. Amazing fisheries around here. The scallops are from right off Barnegat Light. The tuna is from just offshore. The flounders from just offshore. So and then a little bit inland, we get to work with all these fantastic farms. So tomatoes are wonderful, and the corn is great in the middle of the summer. So um, we're pretty lucky down here.
You are, and I was too. I actually had the scallops with the risotto,
Yeah.
which was phenomenal. I was stuffed. And like the thing is we tried a bunch of hors d'oeuvres and or appetizer starters, whichever way you want to put that little label on. But we started out with a variety of options for your starters. The tuna tacos were like phenomenal. They had like just that spice and like just well balanced all together. And I mean, there was so many items. Like I'm like, my brain is like, I can't decide which one to talk about. Uh, and like, some of my partners in crime that were seated around me were ordering various seafood options too. But there was one person who ordered chicken. I've never seen chicken parmesan like in such a huge portion. Like I just
Yeah,
think,
that was our chicken Milanese. It's gigantic. It is probably 16 inches across.
yeah, I mean, it was enormous, and I'm just like, I don't know if you can eat all that in one sitting. But like aside from just the fact that you have, obviously you have cocktails, you have dinner, you have Bends and Brunch, which you just started as well.
Yeah, so we partnered with our friend Katie over at Yoga Bohemia, which is a local studio. They've got 3 locations. So we were kind of toying with different ideas of how to do work together, and landed on this Bends and Brunch. The idea is to you go up, a ticket gets you beach yoga right at the end of our street, right on our beach. So you do beach yoga for an hour and a half, and then wander back, and you can have brunch at Daddio. So the whole idea was feed your mind and then feed your belly. Um, so that just started yesterday. So it goes for the rest of the summer.
And I mean, I didn't participate in the actual like yoga part. I actually sat and like, was taking photos because it's me. I'm a photographer too. Um, but it's just kind of a beautiful experience. And just being able to be like do yoga and be one with nature in such a peaceful setting is awesome. And waking up in that very comfortable, I really cannot extend to like explain to our listeners how comfortable those beds were. i have I have
Awesome.
yeah, I have trouble sleeping, and I like had zero problem sleeping.
That's great. I mean, look, that is the main part of a hotel is the bed, so it better be awesome.
Yes, exactly. It's and not to like fixate on that because I mean just everything like every part of the experience of staying at your hotel and eating at the restaurant was phenomenal. And I want to mention the fact that included in the fact that you can just park your car and you don't have to move it until you check out. You guys also offer the availability to rent, beach chairs and towels and bikes, because one of the big things around beach areas, especially LBI, is you see people like riding bicycles all over the place. You don't have to bring your bike. You guys have bikes available for use.
We do. We have a couple of vintage bikes, and we can also, get any sort of rental if you want to rent a surfboard or if you need more bikes. All the beach amenities are included in your stay, beach badges, anything that you could want. We've tried to, you know, overthink it and over engineer it so that people could just, show up with their bathing suit and, and we've got everything else.
Yes. Now, given that you've been, a part of the Fearless Restaurants group, and a part of Daddy-O's and Tucker's Tavern for so long, what are some of your favorites, for our listeners if they, if and when I should say, when they go on vacation, or even if they visit just the LBI for like an evening out, what are some of the more popular dishes or something that you would recommend?
So I would say certainly start your evening by going to the rooftop bar at Daddy-O and having, you know, a tiki cocktail or, any sort of a martini as you kind of watch the sunset. Uh, Come down. I think our sushi at Daddy-O is excellent. And so that's something that we do all summer long. The tuna tacos, like you mentioned before, those things are, they're wonderful. We make them in house every single day. Um, I'm a seafood lover. I live here, so it's like anytime that we can get fresh seafood, and scallops or literally came off a boat yesterday, so those things are great. I think our tuna is wonderful at Daddy-O as well. Um, and there's a little something for everybody, but it is certainly an elevated dining experience more than some of the other beach restaurants that you see down here. And I think that certainly with COVID, you found people, reevaluating how they dine out and how they use restaurants as a whole. Our philosophy has always been, it can't be too precious because then people don't use you often. They'll use you for a special occasion. We want to make sure that even though it's not precious, it needs to be awesome. There needs to be a wow factor to everything that arrives at your table.
And there is a wow factor, 100%. And including like when you walk in, like you walk in, you see this restaurant that you think is going to be just a small restaurant, but it just keeps going and going and going. And
Yeah,
you're
this
like,
Daddy-O is, we probably have 400 seats at Daddy-O, and Tucker's is close to 5.
mhm. So and that's the other thing is, if you go there, you can also host events because you have that availability too.
Yes. Yeah, we do all sorts of rehearsal dinners, weddings, birthday parties, anything that you can imagine. And there's also the ability to do a buyout, and you buy out the entire building, which for a wedding is pretty fun because you get all the hotel rooms, you get all the spaces. So, basically you're just renting a big beach house.
A very, very large one. And I also want to mention the fact that, like, because I'm a huge coffee drinker, you have the Nespresso machines, but like I didn't find the like very large Nespresso machine that like you could touch screen and
Yeah.
like order the next day. And I was like, I was dying because I was like, I'm very tired. And I was like, ooh, look, I can like you can, and it's elaborate too. You can make dirty chais and the mocha lattes and stuff like that. So, you partnered or you have a partnership, I should say, with Nespresso, obviously, and like you have this huge thing and the grab and go breakfast too.
We do. So yeah, all our coffee is by Lavazza, and so we partner with Lavazza at all the places, and it's great. Like that machine, if I could have that machine at my house, that would be amazing because it's the drinks that come out of there, the espresso, and the cappuccino that comes out of the one touch machine is it's not always great. These are really wonderful. Um, and the grab and go breakfast, we found that it's just that people, when they are on vacation, they just want to stop in, grab a muffin or a bagel, and they're headed out. They're headed to the beach.
Yeah.
Um, so that is all included as well.
And I love that. And you have Cliff Bars too. I liked that as options because a little healthy pack a punch of protein.
Right.
I did not mean to do an alliteration there.
I want to see that on the label.
um, but our listeners out there who are thinking about, hey, I want to go to the beach, I want to spend a couple of days, or in during season or in season and off season, you're year round.
We are open year round. We only close 3 days a year, and that is Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas. Open every other day.
So if you're looking to have a lot of fun and looking to enjoy yourself either at the beach or, a dining experience, go to Daddy-O's. And Pete, let our listeners know, how they can rent, where they can find you.
Sure. So we are on beautiful Long Beach Island, which from Philadelphia you can get there in less than an hour and a half. You can check out all of our room amenities at daddyolbi.com. You could book rooms there. You could find us on Expedia and the whole Expedia family of sites as well. And all of our menus are at our website as well. And also, daddyolbi on Instagram. And, we do have a great Insta feed. So, Alex, who does our social media, it's very fun. And so Daddy-O is, again, it's all about fun.
And it was a lot of fun, and it was relaxing, and I think I rolled out of there after all eating everything that I ate.
Yeah,
So
but that's the way I think, I like to eat for sure, is just so that we can, you get a taste of it all.
yes. And all right. So for our listeners out there, check out Daddy-O's, check out Tucker's Tavern. Enjoy your time there because LBI is a wonderful place to visit.
It is. We love LBI. It's
All
a
right.
great show. You go over that bridge and it's like you go someplace else.
Exactly. On that particular note, Pete, thank you for joining us on Food Farms and Chefs, and I look forward to our next interaction.
Yeah, let's do this again. So thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.